Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to True Telos Trading. Today is December 29th, 2025. This year is almost at an end. We have a trade in today on an A-plus quality stock that we are green on. We are seeing these fewer and fewer, and I know it's because it's the end of the year and people are still out on holiday. The volume is not where we want it to be, but we went ahead and took a small risk anyway. It was a decent trade. I followed my rules of True Telos Trading, and we came out on top. Let's go ahead and get into that stock of today. The stock that we traded this morning, the ticker was SPO or SOPA. It did have a news catalyst this morning. It wasn't something really prominent. I think they were acquired by another company, but it was a news catalyst nonetheless, and we saw movement in the market because of it. This will be a +3. Stock's float was below 10 million shares. In fact, as a matter of fact, it was about 5.5 million. This would be +2. The stock was trading above the 200 moving average. The 200 moving average on this stock was down there at close to $1.80 to $2. When we bought this stock this morning, we bought it at $2.68. So it was above that 200 moving average. This would be a +2. It was above 40% when we purchased this stock, and it was just above that 40%, probably about close to 50. This would be a +1 here. It is below $10. It was below $10 when we bought it. Like I said, we bought it at $2.68. This would be a +1. It was the number 2 stock in the market when we bought it this morning, so definitely top 3. This would be a +1. It was not at any all-time highs. This will be a +0. If we had all of these together on our True Telos Trading grading scale, this will be a score of 10. And according to our True Telos Trading grading scale, a score of +10 is an A-plus phenomenal stock. So we had another A-plus phenomenal stock that we traded this morning. Again, like I said, we're seeing a little bit or a lot of bit less volume just because we are still, it's the end of the year. People are out on holiday. The big purchaser of these stocks aren't participating with us, so I'm guessing I'm just seeing us retail stock traders. So let's go ahead and get into the chart to see how we traded that stock today. This is our stock we traded this morning, SOPA. I wish I could have got in right here, but for me, that's being a little bit presumptuous. I have gotten in stocks as it's coming up right here, and I enter as soon as it gets to right here, and I catch a giant flush down. So I've learned to when I'm trading, I always put the stock. I have my paper right here. That is my True Telos Trading grading scale, which we just left. I have to put that stock into that scale to make sure that it matches my True Telos Trading grading scale before I get into it. Over the course of these last 2 months, I have been buying the top of these moves, like all the way up here at 274, and then catching a big flush down. That is my kind of breaking high of day strategy. What I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start implementing the dip to resumption strategy a lot more, because I don't want to be catching the stock when it's at its highest. I want to catch it at a dip when people are selling this stock and people are still buying. The buying power is overpowering the selling, but I still don't want to catch it when it's at the very top of a move. I want to start catching it when it pulls back a little bit and then resumes higher, kind of like it did today. I'm only looking for 10 to 20 cent of profit when I trade these stocks. My strategy is very good for that 10 cent to 20 cent of profit. That's what I'm going to be sticking to for the foreseeable future. We're going to see how this next month pans out for me. December was a decent month. It was pretty much a break-even month, but I don't want break-even. I want to be out on top of the market. I want to make sure that I'm making money in the account and not just paying the broker to trade. So I digress. We entered here on this candle. We actually bought on 2 different candles. Here on the second candle, I bought 4 shares with a further dip. Here on this candle, we got a high of $2.74. I waited for a dip on that and bought 95 shares at $2.68. I saw it floating on support on this level. I was a little bit discouraged and a little bit anxious when I saw this candle drop below this right here. The low of this candle is $2.59, and it dropped below that candle at $2.57. 2 cents, but still made me a little bit anxious. It pulled back up right here to about 260, and it froze at 260 for just like a second, and it popped up here to that 285, 287. I exited on this candle as soon as I saw that 10 to 15, 10 to 20 cent of profit. As soon as it jumped up past that point, I went ahead and exited, and I'm glad I did. I would have caught a giant flush down had I stayed in any longer. My trade works in about my most profitable time range is 1 minute with my according to my analytics, but I stayed in this trade a little bit longer. Didn't follow that rule, but we were since we were staying right above this level, this support level, I felt a little bit confident in this trade to pan out in my favor, and it actually did. And that's something that we want to always keep in mind for the foreseeable future. Even though we are at very, very low volume because of the time of year that we are in, we still need to be following our rules. We still need to be making sure that we're doing what we need to mitigate risk on the account and maximize profit. This is the trade of today. If you enjoy this type of content, please don't be afraid to like and subscribe. If you have any questions for me, please don't be afraid to ask me. As always, I'm an open book when it comes to everything. I will see you all tomorrow on True Telos Trading, and have a great day.